Hey everyone, it's Norm from Tested, and I am back here at Monsterpalooza. So excited, and this is literally our first interview. It may not be the first video we put out, but no, it's our first interview because we met Chris Hamburger. Chris,
Yes.
BurgerStrings, aka BurgerStrings.
BurgerStrings, yes.
You're like the perfect, the reason I'm here at Monsterpalooza is to meet artists like you, because I follow you on Instagram. We walked by the booth, and I recognize your artwork, and it's so beautiful. You make these masks that you've sculpted, you've cast, you've painted up, and I want to hear all about your process. Tell me the journey to making masks like these.
Well, as you said, everything's sculpted, traditionally out of clay. I love clay. I love the tactile nature of it. I have nothing against 3D printing or 3D design, but I just love clay. So all of my pieces will start out that way, and I kind of have a rough concept of where I'm going to go with it, and it sounds weird to some people, but I kind of like let the clay take me where it wants to, because a lot of people, they always comment on my shapes and my lines, and that's because I'll just watch the clay and I'll move it around, and if I see something I like, I'm like, okay, that works well. If another shape doesn't work with it, I just get rid of it. But that's why most pieces are fluid, I guess you'd say. The shapes are fluid in the lines.
But even though the shapes are fluid, these are kind of mechanized designs, and I know you do organic designs as well, but that's what's so striking. I think in the modern day, it's maybe not easier, but there's maybe a tendency to do the kind of hard parts in digital.
Yes.
Right?
Yes,
and to get the symmetries, to get between and to get those perfect angles on a hard that's an older.
It is definitely an old school technique.
Yeah.
Or you use a lot of old school techniques. I mean, because the power of 3D printing and prototyping like that is amazing. I have nothing against it because I could literally, sculpt one half, mirror it, and then print that bad boy out. It's beautiful. But I started just fidgeting with clay and learning from movie magic, TV shows like that, and I just wanted to get my hands dirty, and I don't know. I always liked mechanical design. I actually was going to go to college for mechanical engineering, and totally dropped out of that because I was like, okay, I like how robots look. I don't like how they work, so I'm just going to go ahead and design these things.
Well, the shells, you said the material and the forms kind of guide,
Yes.
the shapes and the silhouettes you have. And I noticed there seem to be some mid-century deco robots designs here. Can you tell me what are the shapes that you find? I noticed some similarities.
I do. Okay, so
the tapered back,
yeah,
elongated heads.
I do like, as you can see, the influence of the dome shape. I really like robots that have a large front curved area. It's just, for me, it's aesthetically pleasing. You can paint it in so many different patterns like this. You can just really have fun with it. As far as the other mechanical aspects, it's just, I do like the swooping motion of the Hermes mask. I like that, but it's always, truthfully, it's always about the front centerpiece of any one thing. It's that's always going to be the showpiece.
Yeah.
And how can you make that shine? Because yes, the back of a helmet, back of a mask, it's just kind of rounded off. You look at any, helmet or piece in cinema history, stormtroopers, anything like that, all the beauty of the characters here, and then it just kind of becomes, you'd say, an effective helmet in the back.
Yeah.
So that's why I tend to focus on the larger dome shape and have it kind of swoop back into a teardrop. And it's just
and that big gesture really, I think, highlights some of the nuanced facial details, I guess you can call them.
Yeah.
Because of all your casts, they all have very unique facial details, right?
Right.
The mouth, the eyes, the recessed eyes, that evoke these really cool robotic expressions.
I like it. Yes.
And then you sculpt it, you're casting it. So these are casts that you're selling here.
Yeah. These are blanks that I'm selling of the mask you actually see up here.
But these are your paint finishes.
Yes, these are all custom, just fabricated. These are actually fiberglass. I think one of them, this one is injected resin, but they're fiberglass resin, making them lighter, more durable. And they also have all linings inside of them, like foam linings.
Oh, wow.
Linings, so you can actually wear them.
Oh, I see. Oh, incredible. Can you talk to me about some of these different finishes? From your matte to the very shiny chrome-like ones?
Yeah, so let's go with the matte ones.
Do you mind if I pick this up?
Yeah, please. Yeah, they're, like I said, they're definitely durable.
Oh, wow.
So it all starts off with a black base. It's just a nice jet black kind of, gloss base. And then from there, I put on the chrome layers, which then are protected with another gloss automotive coating. And then this is rematted, but this color is actually an automotive paint, self-hardening. So it winds up, or curing, I should say, that adds a nice protective finish. But when I go to seal the entire thing, it turns gloss again. It turns gloss again like this. So I have to tape off everything and then rematte all of this to actually make it dull, to give it that industrial look. So that's how I get that matte finish. And you can honestly use just a rattle can matte finish on top of an automotive clear coat.
And that makes it look like this.
Yeah, that makes it look more industrial.
Yeah.
Some fun things I like to do or found out is that if you just pretty much spray your paint out of your gun with less amount of reducer, it'll actually give it a nice little like texture. I forget what it is, but anyway, yeah, it just gives it a machine texture.
I can
to
feel
it.
that.
Yeah, very slightly. So that way it's not like a beautiful polished finish. It's more like, yet again, more industrial. The smoother, more polished finish, that's when I actually go in and I just really like wet sand before I apply any paints. It's got to be beautiful. And when I put a clear coat on that, that thing's got to be wet sanded again too. And then you just buff it out and make it perfect for your gloss, for your you'd say tertiary coat, your gloss coat or black clear coat. And then I apply my chrome on top of that. That's what really makes all of it pop and shine.
Is your weathering here applied on top, or are you doing some masking and then peeling back?
Well, there's definitely masking, but all of this was actually just brushed with just a regular paintbrush.
A couple layers,
yeah.
like you know.
I like to go with so a lot of people will use like Vaseline toothpaste, stuff like that to add chipping effects. I kind of like the control I have of just like a nice paintbrush and going into the high areas wherever you see like there will naturally be wear and tear, and that way I have more control in adding layers. Because what really sells any one of these pieces is the layers of detail when it comes to weathering and distressing, because not everything has to be beat up and rusted. It's just, you can have a slight amount, as long as it tells the right story, that's all you need.
Yeah, just a little bit of a black wash on top, I can see, kind of dried.
Oh yeah.
Like,
weather,
yes.
soot, oil, anything like that.
I love this. The heat marks, that really sells the
weld burns.
Yes, the weld burns. Tell me about the application of that.
Okay, so that's a weld burn is just made. Okay, so if you think about, okay, let me rewind a little bit. Whenever I paint, I try to think about what actually would make something do this, right? So you look at a weld burn like that, and you have your heats, the heat applied to making that burn. You have your red, yellows, and blues, your primary colors, right? You have blue, the hottest, red, secondary, yellow, the coolest flame. So that's exactly what follows is you apply that yellow because that's going to be your coolest flame, and then you're going to apply that red, which actually blends and makes it into an orange leading into the yellow, and then you add your blue, which then adds over that red, which makes it purplish blue, and then you wind up chroming out the exterior, wiping it away, because that's going to be where it pops. And everything behind that is like soot and black. That's what really it's seriously those layering. It's all about layering.
Yeah, and it has its iridescent quality to it as I'm shifting it around. Really, really complements that chrome well. Something I'm also noticing, there's mixed media. You have like leather work here in addition to the lighting.
Oh yes.
And I noticed here it's a big part of a piece like this. It's almost inlaid in here.
Yeah, you have leather work all along the front here. You have leather here on the nose. You have leather on the side. You have leather interior back here. And then you have all the actual padded lining on the inside.
That is so gorgeous. And you're thinking behind that, it takes light differently, it reads differently, it's softer.
Oh yes, yeah, it is, as you said, mixed media. It's what can really make this pop and to where it's not all just metal, chrome, gold, because you know there's obviously pieces like this where it's like it's all one solitary color.
Yeah.
But you add little nuances like that, these little bits of leather that add story and also break up the surface to where it's like, okay, your eyes drawn to that. Why is that like that? So it adds, it's the same thing as distressing. The layers, the subtlety, you add little accents like that, and it does add that extra layer of character to it.
Same with the milkiness of the eyes here.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, wonderful. I love your panel line work.
Thank you.
As well. Oh, gorgeous. And it's so cool to see a casting, a blank here, which you're selling, and then with the right of patience and experience, what it can look like.
Yeah, I try to let people know that these came from this. It's what your imagination can bring to the piece that will actually make it shine. Like, it's not just because, I didn't do anything special with these. Granted, it's experience and years of patience and learning, but that's why I have people send me pictures of whenever they buy a mask. Like, they'll tag me in a photo of what they paint, and I love that. I'll repost that because I love seeing what other people bring to the table with their ideas.
Amazing, Chris. Such a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah.
One of the reasons we're here is to meet artists that we follow I'm going to keep on mashing like on your posts
Well, I
because
appreciate
they're
it, man.
gorgeous. Such a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Norm. I appreciate it.